Well, today was my first day trying Reader's Workshop with my 8th graders, and it was an academic class, and we were focusing on setting, be able to find setting, and using text evidence to support that. We also focused on how to properly cite something when they were using their text with author and page number. So first I had them come close to me on the floor, and I was reading a mentor text out loud to them, and they just listened, and I kind of read aloud and thought aloud some clues that I was picking up on about setting, time and place, just to kind of be an example to them of what they were going to be doing later on their own. And this is from Autumn Street by Lois Lowry. So you guys just listen, and we're going to see if we can pick up some clues on where the setting is, okay? It says, I don't want to go to Pennsylvania. I want to stay in New York. Why do we have to live at grandfather's? So we're picking up on some things right there, okay? She wants to stay somewhere she doesn't want to go. After I read the first 8 lines, I went back and I made a T-chart with clues and text evidence of the setting so that they could see the clues that I picked up on, but also how to properly cite that. We know that she was moving, right? So I would put up here that that she was moving. Okay, I'm going to show you how we would cite our text evidence to back this up right here. Why can't we live at home anymore? But Lowry, because that's our author, and this comes from page 1. Okay, that's how we're going to do this. Also, what else did I say about the clues? That it tells me about the time period.
Radio.
The radio. Okay, so I would put over here that it's not 2014. It was, and the war. Okay. And page 1. So I'm going to read lines 8 through 18 for you guys, and we're going to be. I want you to be looking for some clues, and then we're going to I'm going to give you a chance to turn and talk and figure out what some of those clues were, and then we're going to work on properly citing this together before I release you guys to the wild to do this on your own, okay? I watched her face, and then frightened, I ran to find Daddy. Pearl Harbor is on the radio, Daddy, I told him, and Mama is crying. Now I want you guys to turn and talk to your partner about possible clues that help us figure out where the setting is.
Go hide in the subway, so that means like they're like in a very densely populated area. It's like New York. And they lived in an apartment. The lady lived upstairs.
You ladies had some great conversations about finding the setting and text evidence. What were some of the things that you guys found?
Like she said, she didn't like the lady upstairs, so that means like they live in like an apartment complex or like a condominiums or something.
Okay. And then so we're going to properly cite this where it says lived in the upstairs apartment. Lowry, because that's my author, and this was actually on page 2, so I would put a 2. So what we're going to do is you're going to go back to your tables, and I'm going to have a short story for each table for you guys to read. And what I want you to do is you're going to be reading that, and you're going to be picking up on the clues and documenting in your reader's notebook. And you're going to make a T-chart just like we did, clues and text evidence, okay?
So if we get text from the story, do we put quotation marks around it?
Yes, that is an excellent question. And like our first example here was an actual quote from the text. So I have the double quotations and then the single quotations right here. And that's how you would cite an actual quote from your text. I gave them a few minutes to get started with their reading, and I was kind of watching to see where they were at on their clues and text evidence. And once I saw that they were getting some information, then I would go and verbally conference with the students and ask them what is the setting? Did the author come right out and tell you? And what was the time period? And how did how were you able to figure that out? Which clues? But while we were also having that conversation, I was also checking to make sure that they had properly cited the author and the page number. You want to send your story?
I think it's a labor camp, I'm not sure.
Okay. Why do you think that?
She's like, we settled in a labor camp.
So you can actually cite that quote in there. So it would be just like what we talked about, where you would have the 2 quotes and then the 1 quotation mark inside of that. All right, so you're reading Broken Chain by Carrie Soto. Have you been able to figure out where the setting is?
Yeah.
Okay. What clues did you pick up on?
It's not present day.
Okay.
So what were your clues that you found out, Zoe?
He mentions people that aren't from this era, like Prince and the guy from,
So they're older rock stars,
yeah.
like one maybe your teacher might have used to listen to.
I like that. I feel like I would really get to know them as readers just a whole lot better, but also meeting their individual needs a lot more. And I just feel like that's going to help me be a better teacher for them, and it's going to help them just become better readers. Okay, once we transitioned into Reader's Workshop, they have been bringing their independent novel with them as well. And the kids are really excited again about reading, and they're coming in and showing me how much they've read, and they finished books and they're in series. And it makes me excited as a teacher to see them excited about something that they're reading instead of rolling their eyes and not wanting to get into what they're doing. I have even received emails from parents that they tell me they're excited that their kids are reading again. So that makes me happy.